Hello and welcome to the ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday nights live on MW Productions. This week it's going to be race number 6 in Viva Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Motor Speedway playing host to the Chicken Ranch 125 here this evening with the ITSR B Car Series. Evan Pasoko, Michael Keaton up in the broadcast booth here this evening. Before we get going for 125 laps, we're going to take a look back at last week's results at the Talladega Super Speedway. 88 laps was on the board, and it was Stefan Marinak able to come home at the number 1 position, leading 11 laps total. CJ LeVere able to come home second in that race, and Michael Woolley jumping out of the production hauler, hopping on the racetrack and putting on a clinic, as he would like to say, finishing top 3 after leading 4 laps. Matt Lacrosse comes home in 4th with 6 laps led, and Bobby Terrell going to round out the top 5.
Jay Horton would finish 6th last week. Scott Simley, 7th place belonged to him. And how about this? Brian Harvey, the number 66 machine that would start on the outside pole, would come home 8th. J. Randall Watkins, that 77 car, would finish 9th, and rounding out the top 10 was Scott Brotherton.
Then we take a look to the championship point standings. We're a little bit of shuffling, but Stefan Marinak still in the number 1 spot, sitting on 1 win and 5 top 5s, the top 5 in every single race so far this evening for the 24 crew. Matt Lacrosse second in the championship standings, 18 back, 28 points back is Brian Harvey in 3rd. CJ LeVere sits 4th in the championship standings. He's 38 points back and just 1 point behind him, and rounding out the top 5 going to be Scott Simley.
Searching for these 3 drivers, still searching for the top 5 this season so far, Evan. 6th place, John Wilco. Jay Horton, 7th place. Douglas Wyatt, 8th. A driver who has found the top 5 thus far this season, but has had struggle races throughout the season, is J. Randall Watkins in 9th. And Frank Coons, 1 top 10, guys, but he's still trying to hang on to that top 10 in his points.
Only 1 driver in the top 10 has won, and that is Stefan Marinak. Moving forward now to this evening's race, again, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, located in North Las Vegas, Nevada, owned and operated by Speedway Motorsports Incorporated. A capacity crowd of 131,000, opened back in 1971. Originally, the whole complex, and this track has undergone some changes over the years. The surface right now, an asphalt surface, 1.5 miles in length, a little bit of variable degrees of banking into turns at 18 to 20 degrees is the racetrack this evening. Again, it's going to be 125 laps. The drivers going through their qualifying sessions. What are we going to be looking forward to in this race here?
Well, I'll tell you what, Vegas is one of those tracks, it's a tough track. I mean, and I think we're going to see some good racing here at Vegas. It's got that Nellis straightaway on the backstretch, so can't wait to see what these guys can do on a Thursday night.
They'll be slipping and sliding. There's a lot of room to race on, and it's a very aggressive racetrack, and if you're aggressive, it pays off. But we're about getting set to get going, so we're going to go down our trackside for the opening ceremonies.
Shoes, yeah, I don't know where I'm going to. Jumpsuit, black tie, and I don't need a reason why. They come running just as fast as they can, but every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Gold watch, diamond ring. Well, I ain't missing on a single thing. Conflicts, stick pin, and I still I don't know to do you in. They come running just as fast as they can.
Hey, look here, beavers. You better hide your wives, hide your husband, and look here, both of you hide your kids, because we're coming.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. comes looking sharp, looking for love. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about a sharp dress. Make some noise! Clean shirt, blue shoes, and I don't know where I'm going to. Silk suit, black tie, and I don't need a reason why. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about it.
Qualifying going to come to a close, and the field is getting ready to grid up on the front straightaway, and we're going to run you down through the starting field here at Las Vegas. On the pole with a lap time of 31.165, Jose Gonzalez going to roll the 26 off at number 1 spot, and outside him on row number 1 starting second, the 21 of Matt Lacrosse.
Row 2, third quickest tonight in Vegas is the 14 of Bobby Terrell. To the outside of him is the 7 machine of Stephen Maddox.
Row 3 is going to be headlined with the 77 of J. Randall Watkins starting inside a number 5 position, and outside him starting 6, Stefan Marinac looking for his 6th straight top 5 on the season.
7th quickest with a 31.404 is the 68 machine of Scott Simley. To his outside right, 8th position, the 37 of Ben Burnett.
Inside row number 5 is going to be the 11 machine of LD Sarah B. And Scott Brotherton at a 3 going to round out the top 10.
Chad Schilling puts his Chevrolet 11th quickest tonight. CJ LeVere in the 4 car is 12th quickest.
66 of Brian Harvey going to roll off at an unlucky number 13th starting position. Alongside him going to be Edson Lama Jr. in the 19 machine starting in that number 14 spot.
Hippie's Paint Shop, Douglas Wyatt will roll his 5 machine off 15th tonight. And the last to take time, Frank Coons in the 48 starts 16th.
Josh Cheney, the first car to not take a time at a number 41 Ford, to be starting 17th. Alongside him, Luis Rodriguez in the 47.
19th position tonight belongs to the Phoenix machine, and more than likely, I think this is going to be Derek Hyatt's first race of the season, so welcome aboard, Derek. He'll start 19th again. 20th belongs to the 62 of John Wilco.
And rounding out the field starting 21st is going to be the 98 machine of Stephen Herring, and that is going to round out again your 21 car field for this evening's race. Again, Las Vegas, a 1.5 mile track, the most common on the NASCAR circuit. Those 1.5 mile cookie cutters, 125 laps on the board, so 188 miles is the distance that we need to go here before we reach that checkered flag. I know we ran through the points earlier, and again, Stefan Marinak not only looking for a 6th straight top 5, but he is the only driver inside the top 10 with a win all season.
How about this? Looking at the times in qualifying, Evan, only one driver hit that 31.1 mark, and obviously that's going to be Jose Gonzalez, who's on the pole. And then take a look back, further back in 2nd and 3rd, those 2 drivers were the only ones to hit the 31.2 mark, and that's Matt LaCrosse and Bobby Terrell once more. So a little bit of separation. Of course, Douglas Wyatt put a 31 down, but it was a 31.9, so maybe some trouble there in qualifying. And then Frank Coons hit the 32.2 mark. So a lot of differentials in times right there, so it'll be fun to see if the draft can help some of these guys out, or if they can really just put the rubber down and get after it here at Vegas.
We're getting ready to do so as the pace car comes at a 4 with the field in tow. Lights are off and the fans rise to their feet as we get ready for the green flag racing pace car. Getting ready, going to take that sharp left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road. There it goes, field in the hands of Jose Gonzalez. He has whatever he wants. There he goes on the loud pedal, and we are green flag racing at Las Vegas. He checks out. Matt LaCrosse going to get 2nd. It looks like the 14 of Terrell going to slide up in front of the 7 for 3rd.
So far, good, nice little start here at Vegas. This is kind of a tricky track getting into the turn 1 here, getting up to speed and coming out of the corner. You know, he asked me before the broadcast actually started what I thought I was going to see tonight. And, you know, I think we need to pay attention to the turns coming out of the corners, coming out of 2, coming out of 4 here, as there's still green flag racing with 1 lap about to be complete. Everything looks good. There's some double file racing towards the front, single file towards the back.
And that double file up front is going to be the 24 car trying to make a move on the inside. That's Stefan Marinak trying to get around the 7 of Steven Maddox. You see the 24 low in turns number 1 and 2. There's a pretty big bump. The bump's down there, and the 7 able to prevail. So Maddox going to hold on to that position, showing that the outside lane can work too. And you know, sometimes you go to a racetrack and there's only 1 lane. The inside's at this racetrack. Very racy. You can go side by side. You can have a hard battle, and it can really come down to it. Obviously, that apron, it's a white line, not a yellow line, so that's in play. You can go down there, try to make a pass, get a little bit of extra speed. Really makes this racetrack very racy and puts on a show, and I'm sure some of these drivers don't really like that, the fact that they're going to have to be on their toes all night long, but then again, it does provide for great racing action for us.
1 car already taking the spin off of 4 Evan during that. He got a little bit of help from Stephen Herring. This was the battle for 17th and 18th. Frank Coons again once more slipping to the inside. His car's kind of tore up there a little bit.
And the 47 off track too, pulling down in the opening laps and to the garage. So trouble for Rodriguez, and he's going to bring that machine behind the wall early on in the going here. Again, we talked about Jose Gonzalez able to open up that gap, obviously being in control of the initial start of this race. Matt LaCrosse trying to close in on him and ran about 0.2 or 0.15 of a second quicker than Jose last time by, and it's about a 0.3 of a second gap between those guys in the top two. Looks like, though, that 21 machine, he's coming for him, and we may see a battle for that number one spot here not too long. But look at this big pack of cars around 9th. Side by side is Ben Burnett sitting 6th, and he has the 77 on his inside. The 68 is stuck in the middle at Simley, and in the side-by-side battle as LeVere gets around the 3 of Scott Brotherton and now tries to work on the inside of Simley. Oh, LeVere gets loose. He's going to turn him. 68 sideways. LeVere into the grass. Caution, and they all save it. Scott Simley hangs on. CJ LeVere hangs on. That could have been big after contact in 3 and 4, but it looks like they all make it out alive.
Yes, it looks like CJ just bobbled there. I think he got just enough of the apron, and it bobbled him up right into Simley, and Simley doing a great job of saving that. CJ also doing a good job of saving that car. They did take some grass with them. Hopefully that doesn't hurt the front splitter, but those guys did a great job saving it and not coming up and taking anyone else out. So just an unlucky break, though, for CJ there, hitting that apron, I think.
Yeah, it's a very difficult pit road entrance, but he had the left side tires right down there, just caught it, came up, and the 68 locks it up, saves it. Everybody else does a good job of getting around it, and they are all able to hang on. Jose Gonzalez, he's out the number one spot because everybody else coming down pit road, led by the 21 machine of Matt Lacrosse. And they're all down here on the pit lane very early on in this race after the ITSR officials taking no chances and throwing that caution rather quickly. Let's see what these guys do when they come into their stalls. Do we see 2-4 tires? Obviously, they're going to fill these things up with fuel. Looks like right side's going to go up. 2-tire stop for the 14 of Bobby Terrell. Matt Lacrosse came in the leader. Going to take a 4-tire stop and be the second car off of pit road. So a little bit of strategy there as Jose Gonzalez is stopped down on the apron here as him and John Wilco did not join the field that time down pit road, and they're trying to figure out what position they need to be in.
Yeah, currently it's showing him in first spot. I'm not sure exactly how the timing loop will score after they've passed the line here, but Wilco is sitting about 4 car lengths off the pace car as he's going to be leading the race. And if he decides to pit here now, Evan, like you mentioned, he has not pitted. Bobby Terrell will take this race over.
Yeah, again, Jose Gonzalez was in the lead when that caution flag came out and just did not come down pit road. John Wilco being scored the leader. They are going around Jose Gonzalez right now, and he's going to come down pit road. So maybe a little bit of confusion there with the scoring loop, and he had to wait for the leaders to get around him. But now he does enter pit road. Maybe the officials communicated with him on that. Tough break for Jose. He's going to have to drop to the back of this lead lap, which still consists of 19 cars, because still very early on in this race, caution flying around lap 6. So John Wilco going to stay out. Interesting strategy call. Qualified 20th, ran 6 laps. I don't think it'll hurt him if he tries to get up there, and I think that could be a smart call by the 62 team, try to get some track position.
Well, he's definitely going to get it there, moving up from about somewhere in the neighborhood. I think he was running in the top, out of the top 10 actually. He was before that caution, so that's definitely going to move him up. And how about this? From going from 22nd last week at Talladega, not even turning a lap, but he still picked up some points, 28 of them. So tonight, going from dead last at Talladega last week to first place currently, it's a pretty good step up.
And we're listening in on the driver radio communications here as we continue under the caution flag. And LD Sarabia currently running in the 17th position, the number 11 on the lead lap right now, talking with race officials, and he's complaining about a little bit of wheel calibration issues or steering ratio problems, or something that he would like to change to his favor, but I don't believe he can change that after the start of the race. So just something to keep in mind if we see that 11 car later on in this race, that he is battling a steering ratio that is not his preference for sure. We're coming out of turn 4. The field still under pace speed, going about 55 miles an hour behind the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car, doubling up, so I do expect the lights to go off this time by. And as the field now goes through that tri-oval, the pace car going to cross the stripes and the caution lights are extinguished. So one more lap around, and it'll be lap 10 once we get green flag racing once again.
Hey, by the way, you know, you mentioned steering. We didn't even probably think about this, but, you know, looking at CJ's car, the front of that Ford Mustang is kind of bent in a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if his steering may be off a little bit.
Yeah, CJ definitely has front end damage. Remember, he slid through the grass, but he also got up into that car that he made contact with up on the top of the racetrack. So could be damage from either of those. Again, all the drivers still on the track. Jose Gonzalez still driving on the apron. Actually, I believe he is just now leaving pit road. Not sure what the deal is with the 26. Again, and then Luis Rodriguez had to leave the race on lap 1 or 2. Ended up coming down pit road, just kind of pulled down, came down to a stall, and had to exit the race very early on. So not sure what happened with the 47, but that leaves 19 cars on the racetrack. Still a lot of racing to go. Again, we're going to go back green flag racing, lap 10 of 125 after a quick caution as we pace through turns 3 and 4. The control car going to be John Wilco. Let's see what he can do. Again, no tires for him. The 14 of Terrell on the outside row, number 1 with 2. Everybody else with 4. Now the green flag out, John Wilco taking off at a big wiggle. He has to hang on to it. He's going to get blown out of the water. Everybody goes on by the 62 after a critical error on the restart. He's going to lose all these spots, and now the battle is for the number 1 spot. And it looks like it's going to be Matt Lacrosse on the inside. No, here comes the 14 of Bobby Terrell. He wants it now down the back straightaway. There's the 24 in third. That's Stefan Marinak, currently on track to another top 5 this season. He's got a little bit of a run on the inside, 21 with the advantage right now. It's a 3-horse race, 3 wide as Marinak throws it to the apron.
Oh, he better hope for room here as he lets out the throttle. That Ritz Cracker Chevy had a great burst of speed going down the front stretch, and you could just tell that he thought maybe a little bit wiser of it, backed out, rolled out of the throttle. Look at this number 7 car coming, newcomer to the ITSR Twisted Cup Series league. Oh, excuse me, the ITSR league on Thursday night. But newcomer after all, up here in 4th. How about that, playing with the big dogs?
Yeah, now
this
side
is the
by
Twisted
side.
B-car series, by the way, Evan. Twisted B-car.
Thursday nights.
Yes.
Not Tuesdays. It's a T. It's close enough. And it's Marinak. And now caution, trouble on the track. We're going to throw it. 56. Going for a ride, John Wilco, who is just leading, spinning now in turns 1 and 2. Caution is going to fly, and it's 2 completely separate incidents. The 56 of Darren Hyatt, we talked about him making his first start, got onto that apron, and that place can get very loose when you make the transition back up onto the racetrack. Got sideways, pounded. The inside wall went up and over, and then he gets collects John Wilco. Remember, Wilco was just leading this race. Only reason he was back there is because he had that trouble on a restart, and that's how quickly a race can go in a 3-lap change. You go from leading to being involved in an accident at the back of the pack and seeing your night slip away as Wilco enters pit road for damage repair.
Yeah, and you got to feel bad for Wilco, you know, coming up here leading those couple of laps during the pacing before we went green. Then he kind of had made that bobble and just got down to the bottom as quickly as possible. So you got to give him some credit there, getting out of the way and letting the guys go by. He did have the old tire, so that may have something to do with the spin there, the self spin.
And as we sit under this second caution flag, we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday Night Racing on MW Productions. And we're back live here again at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, still pacing under our second caution early on in this race for some trouble down the front straightaway involving two cars. And I do believe that we may get the lights of the pace car off this time, but we're going to have to see as they cross the stripe and the lights are going to be extinguished. So we will go green flag racing on lap 17. Again, the ITSR Twisted B Car Series here in Las Vegas. For race number 6 on this first segment, the Chicken Ranch 125. And again, Evan Pizzoco, Michael Keaton up at the broadcast booth this evening, and a couple quick early cautions here.
Yeah, a couple quick cautions, like you said, and how about this? We've got a couple drivers falling off pace here.
A couple drivers still trying to determine what spots they need to go in. Obviously, the 47 retiring earlier, and then Derek Hyatt, I believe, is no longer on the racetrack. He was involved in that incident. And John Wilco no longer on the racetrack as well. So 17 remain early on in this race out of the 20 that started, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Matt Lacrosse, currently your race leader, second in the championship standings, 18 points behind Stefan Marinak. No wins, though, yet on this season. Marinak with 5 top 5, so every single race. Matt Lacrosse with 4. So looking to improve on that stat and try to close in on his gap. Only problem is not that far behind is the points leader. Anyways, coming out of 4, pace car lights are off. Getting ready to go green flag racing. Pace car going to dive down to the safety pit road right there. Matt Lacrosse has the option to go whenever he wants. He brings the field through, and the green flag flies as he's on the loud pedal. He's going to take off. A little bit of a challenge for second. The 7-matics can't quite stick there on the inside of Jose.
Nah, he can't, but he'll have a couple laps here to try to get back after it, as Gonzalez will stay here in second. The 7 car of Steven will continue to hold third place for now, as Gonzalez nearly gets it up into the outside while they're exiting turn 2. Single file for the most part back here in 8th place. And 7th place, we've got a little battle side by side with LeVere underneath Brotherton. Brotherton gets loose. Burnett now gets up into Simley a little bit, coming through the tri-oval.
And more side by side behind them, but a good group of cars. The Ford's going to pull up in front of Brotherton. 37 to Burnett to the inside of that 3-0. Loses a lot of speed. Has to hold up Simley. Hard on the brakes. They slow down right in front of Josh Cheney and Chad Schilling after the 37. Burnett tried to throw it in there, could not make it stick. And now it's going to be the 41 on the inside, 35 of Schilling. There is going to drop back, and the 68 car, I believe, might slice in between these guys. Simley, no, he wants to stay on the high side of Ben Burnett by the stripe. And again, don't count out that 41 of Josh Cheney as all these guys battle for P10.
Oh, Josh Cheney nearly getting a piece of Burnett there. Burnett nearly losing a lot of horsepower. Now the 11 car above Josh Cheney to the outside. That's LD Sarabia. And now those guys kind of going single file here, but Chad Schilling now working to the high side of Ben Burnett off 4.
The 4 of CJ LeVere trying to get P7 from Brian Harvey as LeVere goes to the inside down the front straightaway. Again, we've seen a car spin from getting onto the apron and getting loose when they make that transition back up to the racing surface. LeVere did not go all the way down. Cannot clear the 66 of Harvey this time, coming out of turn number 2 as they look up to Bobby Terrell up in front of them. LeVere going to have the inside in 3 and 4. No bumps to worry about, unlike in turns number 1 and 2. Can the 4 get the job done? Tries to slide high. 66 keeps the nose there, but LeVere will have the advantage at the stripe.
Oh, buddy. LeVere has the advantage for now, right? For now. Now look back here, Evan, at the front. Look back up at the front here. Jose Gonzalez has caught Matt Lacrosse. Looking underneath, possibly going to make the move under the apron. I believe that pass is fine. It's legal. Oh, as he gives that Matt Lacrosse a little shove. Ooh.
He's letting him know he's there. Gives the 21 a little bit of a bump. Going down into turn number 1. Letting him know that he is there. Jose Gonzalez running consistently faster, or considerably faster than Matt Lacrosse these last few laps. Able to run him down after this most recent restart. Matt Lacrosse still looking for his first win on the season. Jose Gonzalez not really having the points that I'm sure that he would like to this extent in the season, but he also looking for his first win, and it's still a car length or so that separate these guys. Everybody else inside the top 10, bumper to bumper, but no side-by-side yet. Side-by-side for 13th as LD Sarabia tries to get something going on Josh Cheney. Down to back straightaway, that's going to single file out, and now the battle is for 6th, or 5th actually, as J. Randall Watkins has company with Bobby Terrell.
Of course, Bobby Terrell, known as Here Comes Bobby. Got the 77 car, Randall Watkins, again above him. Hey, look at Terrell's car. Look a little beat up towards the right rear there, the Muscle Milk machine, and C.J. Lavaire's also there. Meanwhile, lead change up front. Gonzalez takes over, but the double file racing is back here where Lavaire works to the high side here on the 14 car. Now, Evan, I like the outside here at Vegas. It looks like it's paying off for some people, and it makes for some good side-by-side racing.
You're going to really have to capitalize in 1 and 2. Again, you got those bumps down there in 1 and 2 as Lavere completes the pass on the 14 of Terrell. So Terrell's the one that tried to make the pass, ended up losing the positions when it was all said and done. So you really got to get that run off the corner. You see the guys obviously on the inside, get up to them, but they can't clear them. And once that guy on the outside gets that big run, all they got to do is slice down in front of them if they can get enough speed. Positioned there. So very racy track. We touched on it at the top of the show. Unlike many tracks that we go to, it's really a one groove track. You can run wherever you want here, and the fastest car is going to make the pass in the end. CJ Lavere continuing to try to move forward. He is now on the inside of J. Randall Watkins. Last time Watkins was up there, he was able to hold off the 14 of Terrell. Can he hold off the 4 of Lavere? You see Lavere sliding up the track, trying to keep control of it. And there goes the outside. 77's going to clear him, and now the 14 of Terrell making a shot at making a pass on him. So Lavere, who made the pass on the outside last time, tries to make it on the inside, and it may bite him because 3 cars closing up quickly, trying to pounce on that position.
Wow, look at this. 3 wide coming into turn 1. Bobby Terrell in the middle, Lavere to the bottom. Randall Watkins to the high side, and they're not going to give up just yet. Still kind of 3 wide there. Now they'll fan it out to 2 wide. Man.
And Lavere pulls up in front of J. Randall Watkins. Watkins has the 14 of Terrell on the inside. Lavere cuts down in front of Terrell, and teammates side by side. The Hot Wheels machines of Harvey and Simley just behind these guys. So 2 rows of side by side as CJ Lavere wants to try to get out of this mess. 14 of Terrell way down to the apron, comes back up onto the track, can't clear the 77. And these guys all bumper to bumper. The 68 was on the back bumper of Watkins that time, down the back straightaway. So the front side by side is the 14 of Terrell on the inside, 77 of Watkins on the outside. And then the second group side by side behind them is those 2 teammates. Watkins trying to clear the 14 of Terrell, can't quite get it done. And this 2-row side by side battle continues out of 4.
The battle still rages on. Coming through the tri-oval, still side by side teammates here. The ACSO cars. A Chevy and a Mustang now 3 wide. Scott Simley sticks his nose in the middle for a second as Randall Watkins kind of shuts the door as teammate Brian Harvey nearly gets up into teammate Simley there. They'll fan it back out here for the moment as Brotherton is now working up underneath. Great little battle here for the top 10 spots.
It is a big group of cars, and it's starting to get a couple more takers. Again, it's still now the 66 is on the inside as Terrell has been able to get out on the inside lane and start to get away. The 66 of Brian Harvey. 77 way up the track. J. Randall Watkins overdrives it, gets out in the marbles, catches the wall, hangs on, but loses 3-4 spots as Chad Schilling is going to lose that, or rather gain a spot from that. And next thing you know, we're all single file. The 14 able to get out of that as the big winner, then the 66, the 68, the 37, and the 3 coming off the corner. Now 68 is in the wall. That is Simley with problems, and just as we single file out, 37, Machine of Ben Burnett makes it 2 wide and makes the pass.
Oh man, well, this little battle here is just is what Vegas really is all about. The gamble, right? You know, you throw your car in the corner, you put it 3 wide, you put it 2 wide, you kind of gamble every time you do it. And now Chad Schilling wants to put his Carolina Panthers Chevy into the mix as he'll work up top side to that 3-car Scott Brotherton. with Scott Simley still in the mix, and here comes J. Randall Watkins clawing his Mustang back through the field. He's in 12th. Still a great battle. Trying to crack the top 10 is Schilling.
Yeah, Schilling finds himself at the outside of Scott Brotherton. Again, great to see both the inside and the outside lanes working to the driver's advantages here as they are able to put the car where they want and see what they can do with it. Again, Jose Gonzalez still leads in the number 1 spot. Just keep tabs on that. 17 driver still on the lead lap. Everybody still on the track is on the lead lap, and it's really bumper to bumper from 8th on back. And again, this is the same group of cars that has been swapping single file for double file, lap in and lap out. And we may see a move here as the 66. It was a little bit slowed out of back straightaway. 37 had a little bit of a run. That was Ben Burnett. He's going to hang off for now. But you see he's got a good run coming out of 4. And I expect him to make a move maybe on this number 7 position, or is he just going to pull up right to the bumper? He's going to get to the right rear, try to slide to the outside. Oh, nearly hugs the 66 of Harvey as Harvey shuts the door into 1.
Ooh. Harvey and that Ben Burnett machine, man, I'm telling you, these guys have been going at it, and you've got to throw in the teammate there, Scott Simley, and he's not doing too much to allow Brian Harvey to, run his race without, Simley being in the way, if you kind of see what I'm saying. I mean, these guys are kind of going at it, even though they're teammates. They're running each other just as hard as they would the next guys. Chad Schilling now throws his Chevy back up to the top side here at Vegas, down the backstretch. No other double file racing except for right here, folks.
Yeah, the 66 was really trying to get something there that last time by did a trial. Well, that's Brian Harvey, and he's probably not the most pleased with the way Ben Burnett kind of cuts up on him a little bit in quarter inch to protect the position as a defensive move, and the side-by-side battle is between Schilling and Simley for the number 9 spot. 68 of Simley now on the inside through 1 and 2. 35 of Schilling up behind the 77 Randall Watkins on the bottom right on the back bumper of that 68. You see, there you go, on the high side, 35 able to clear him with that run of speed, and Chad Schilling for the time being going to maintain that spot. And now 2 more sets of side-by-side have formed right behind these guys. The 3 of Brotherton slides up nearly, gets the 41-0 aggressive move. Great J. Randall Watkins to the bottom of the 68 of Simley now, and a 41 of Josh Cheney on Simley's bumper as well, as the 66 of Harvey tries to get around Schilling. Schilling on the top lane, 3 wide, look at the 41 of Cheney up the middle. And he gets it done.
Whew. Man, he looks so good right now. Cheney does, man. I'm telling you. Week in, week out, Cheney, for the most part, is always making some things exciting. And nonetheless, here he goes. Look at the block by Harvey right there, coming out of 4. I don't know if you could call it a block or not, but he went straight to the bottom, coming off
Watkins,
exit
J.
corner.
Randall Watkins coming down pit road.
Uh-oh. J. Randall Watkins, this may be an unscheduled pit stop here.
It seems a little early for
yes.
And he's bringing it behind. It looks like he needs a reset and something going on with the 77.
I think he climbed out. I think he climbed out, and then climbed back in, then climbed back out.
Yeah, something's going on there, and he's not currently on the racetrack after running in that battle of cars that we saw. So we'll try to get an update. And they have reported. Yeah, he's done.
He's running through the infield.
So something is going to take J. Randall Watkins out of this race after running and putting on a show.
Chad Schilling scraping, possibly an inch off the right rear quarter panel coming off the exit of turn 2 with Cheney to the bottom. This is the battle for that 8th spot as they are neck and neck down the front stretch here at Vegas. 39 laps into the books here, starting to wind down here a little bit, Evan.
And Matt Lacrosse has been able to regain that number 1 position over Jose Gonzalez. Schilling still trying to get the outside lane done. He's side by side again with Josh Cheney, the 41 out of back straightaway, currently working lap 40 under green flag conditions. Schilling up there on the top side, the 41 of Cheney on the inside. You see the 41's going to make up that ground in the middle of the corner. 35 needs to benefit on that runoff, and that would be a great finish if it were at the end of it, but advantage to Josh Cheney that time by the stripe.
Josh Cheney still toward the bottom. Schilling to the top side, allowing Brian Harvey to sneak his 66 machine back up into the fight. As these cars, I thought Cheney was about to clear Schilling, but he couldn't quite do it. And now Chad still trying to hang on, and now the coat hanger has fallen off the rack as he will slip back tonight. Oh, look at him, crossover.
These guys not giving up. Schilling now finds himself on the inside lane on the 41. Again, he was trying to work the outside not too long ago, and again, both lanes are competitive here at this racetrack, which is attributed to the very competitive racing that we have seen so far, and very exciting racing that's been going on all night long around that number 10 position from there on out. Again, Lacrosse was able to get back by Jose Gonzalez, but Jose is on his back bumper going into turns number 1 and 2 for that number 1 spot. That is the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment, as the 41 of Cheney, for the time being, has gotten the better of Schilling.
Oh, boy. Now, all drivers, single file. No one trying to make a move on anybody. I think everyone's kind of sitting patiently, maybe waiting on the strike, right? Kind of hibernating in the darkness. Waiting
Schilling.
for the...
Schilling's going to try to make a move on Cheney. I think Schilling's faster, but the 41 of Cheney is not as consistent. And, I mean, he starts to pull away, but he raised the wall. He's able to hang on from Schilling's little attack on the inside lane. But I believe that Cheney may be faster than Schilling, rather, but he's just looking for the consistency to try to be able to pull away.
Yeah, possibly. Look at this battle back here now. Same type situation back here with Scott Brotherton and Simley. These guys pretty close in speed. Brotherton in qualifying turned a 4.97, Simley a 4.04. So another type situation where one may be just a tad bit quicker than the other, but who's got the better, groove, the line is. We got a big one, big wreck in turns 1 here. The 14 car, Bobby Terrell running 5th spot. Actually, this is going to come through the tri-oval. Looking back at it, my replay.
He nearly took somebody else out. Coming out of pit road, the 48 was pitting, and no caution.
Yes, which is surprising because Bobby about 180'd it down through that corner there, and like you said, nearly got into Frank Coombs as he was exiting the pit road.
They threw that first caution really quick when a car just got sideways. The sim, that is. So an interesting lack of caution, per se. And the green flag continues, and I have to have a feeling that we're going to be coming up on some green flag stops here in not too long if we stay green flag racing. So we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. Jose Gonzalez, once again, still up at the number 1 spot as he has a 3:10 lead over Matt Lacrosse. You're watching the ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday nights at MW Productions. We'll have more from Vegas after this.
In a world where survival is the only rule, and feelings have no place, where winning is everything, and weakness is fatal, how much difference can one person make? That depends on the person. In every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind, except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny. There is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
Welcome back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Green flag still out after a little bit of quick cautions here. We're having a pretty extensive green flag run and are approaching the halfway point in this race. Stephen Maddox just got up to second, but nailed the wall coming at turn number 2, and Matt Lacrosse able to get that spot back from the 7. Ben Burnett with a huge run is going to have to look, and he's going to choose the bottom. We're going to be side by side for third.
Yeah, Simley coming down pit road here. More than likely a scheduled pit stop here, a green flag pit stop too. But Scott Simley, the right side's going up on that machine. Obviously, the left sides now, they're coming about those and doing those as Scott Simley is down pit road once more. Scheduled flag, or scheduled stop here.
He is going to be the first driver that we see come down pit road, and now a group of others getting their business done as well. I know CJ LaVere has made his stop, Brian Harvey, Douglas Wyatt, and of course Scott Simley, who is getting back up to speed right now. So 10 cars remain on the lead lap. Stephen Herring in pit road along with Scott Brotherton also down for his service. Jose Gonzalez still your race leader, yet to come down into the pits, but it is the opening cycle, and typically you'll see the leader come in and then everybody come in, but it seems like everybody decided to come on in around that lap 55 mark, and I could say about good, 5-6 drivers have made their stop to this point in the race. Over our leaders, still not pitting, going to stay out there on the racetrack for now.
Yep, for now.
And back live at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, had to deal with a little bit of technical difficulties there. The race still going on fine as we get things sorted out on our end. And green flag pit stops continue to cycle through. If you're just tuning in, it's ITSR Twisted B Car Thursday nights here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Evan Pasoko, Michael Keaton in the broadcast booth. Matt Lacrosse, your current leader, up there in the number 1 spot as Jose Gonzalez has come down and made pit stops. So Matt Lacrosse currently out there leading the charge for this group of cars. So a very wide window for this set of green flag pit stops. We saw a little bit of a collective group come in there, about 4 or 5 of them within a 1 or 2 lap window. The rest of these guys taking their time, no rush to come down pit road as we have passed the halfway point.
Yeah, and why rush? You know, you got this nice little green flag pit stop. Oh, gosh! As Matt Lacrosse, that was leading the race, nearly got ran over by the 7 car of Steven coming off of turn 4. Evan, I don't know if you can go back and watch that, but that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, he didn't really come over the radio to give those guys a warning. And you can't get down onto the apron. We've seen somebody spin doing that, so he has to try to stay up on the racing surface as much as he can until you get that nice smooth progression down to the pit road, and that caused him to kind of stay up in the racing surface. And again, nearly got clipped in the right rear, but he's going to relinquish the number 1 spot, which puts a different face up front for the first time so far this evening. The 7 of Stephen Maddox started in 4th, is hanging out around the back end of the top 5, had a little bit of an appearance upside in the top 2, currently sits as your race leader, as again he has not completed his green flag pit stops yet. CJ Lavere in the number 2 spot, Matt Lacrosse as he drops to the field trying to get back up to speed as well, so we need to wait till everybody has cycled through before we get it for sure on what spots everybody's going to cycle out into here.
Yeah, currently not everyone has pitted. And some are holding out that pit call a lot longer than others, Evan, if you've noticed that. So far, only 8 drivers are on the lead lap currently now. I would imagine that those 8 drivers, with the exception of Jose Gonzalez, I think you called out that he already pitted. I believe the 2 that's not pitted yet is Steven and possibly CJ Lavere, but not sure on that.
So 9 cars currently on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, Josh Cheney, just hanging on to that lap. And Douglas Wyatt, the first car 1 lap down. He looks like he's had a rough night. The right side of his number 5 Motorcraft Ford is pretty torn up with that Wood Brothers paint scheme on that machine.
So yeah, you're right about that. Hey, look at this battle right here from 12th or 13th to 14th. Stefan Marinac and the Ritz Cracker Chevy and LD Sarabia. Side-by-side racing here, lap 70. And leader still out front, like you said. Like we said, Stephen Maddox. What a great showing for him tonight, huh?
Again, I mean, he started 4th, and he got up to that number 2 spot for a little bit of a stint there, and then was repassed, I guess you could say, by Matt Lacrosse. Matt Lacrosse has lost a lap. He sits 11th on the racetrack right now. Again, scoring still updating. As again, I don't believe everybody's come down pit road quite yet. As obviously the 7 Maddox sitting out there getting chased down by CJ Lavere, though, in the 4 car with the 37 November 9th going to get his lap back to Hardway. You see how much slower that 7 is without that those fresh tires. And now 4, CJ Lavere is going to head up to the point.
Yeah, he'll take the lead over, and Ben Burnett's still fighting to stay on the lead lap. He is the 10th driver. That's and he's about as close to being down the lap than you could probably be, as the 7 car dropping back even further, and I think he may be coming. No, is he conserving fuel here? I mean, he dropped back in a hurry. He's conserving. Motor's off. Listen.
Bobby Terrell back down pit road from the number 10 spot. Maybe these guys came in a little bit too early.
Yeah, 74 laps completed. And
Came in about 20 ago, that first group, so.
Yeah, 7 cars out of gas.
He's got to bring it down pit road. He's going to hold that 45 miles an hour. He's on fumes, but is still under power, rather, and he's going to bring it down and do service to his machine, which puts C.J. LeVere up to the point by a good margin. 13 seconds over Brian Harvey, 15 over Schilling in third. Jose 16 back in fourth, and fifth place will be Scott Brotherton, 20 laps back. Actually, as the 68 Assembly going to pass him. So the battle is on for the number 5 spot. Maddox currently being scored there, but he is down pit road at the time being, getting service done to his race car. So it will be Simley going to advance up to that spot as he completes the pass on the 3.
Yeah, that 7 car fooled me. I mean, it sounded like he was out of gas. I mean, it really did to me. But he wasn't. He was under power. Like you said, the lights were still on the race car. Sometimes the lights are on, but no one's home. So he was conserving fuel, though. Or maybe he was spitting and sputtering. Who knows? But it's a groovy look. It's a crazy race right now with these green flag pit stops. Once again, Evan, with C.J. LeVere out front, still 13, nearly 14 seconds ahead of Brian Harvey. I got a feeling that this race isn't over just yet, as although sometimes people would say I can hear the lady warming up, but she's not singing quite yet.
A very interesting situation. Again, Matt Lacrosse is coming into this evening's race, second in the championship standings, looking for his 5th top 5, which would be his 5th top 10 in race number 6. Stefan Marinak looking to make it every single race that he's finished top 5. He's 5 top 5s, 5 top 10s therefore, in the opening 5 races. However, him and Lacrosse are stuck 1 lap down, 9th and 10th, after all that cycled through.
78 laps now. 79 laps, actually, have been completed. So, Evan, we're getting really close to that 25-20 to go mark. And currently, we've got a little pit strategy battle of race on our hands here, as C.J. LeVere is still out front here at Vegas, 14 and a half up now on Brian Harvey. So C.J.'s putting the lap times down pretty quick. Now Jose has actually started to catch Chad Schilling, and before you know it, he'll run down Chad Schilling, or Brian Harvey as well, and take that 2nd spot over.
Yeah, Jose Gonzalez fastest on the racetrack by half a second over LeVere that last time by. That time LeVere going to put down a faster lap, but Jose is still faster by 3/10, which is allowing him to try to close in on Brian Harvey and then eventually Chad Schilling for positions number 3 and 2 respectively for those guys. But if he can complete those passes, it is a long way up that hill under green flag to make up the 14, 15 or so seconds that LeVere has been able to put on him. That's nearly a lap. Jose's going in the 3, and CJ just come out of the trial, and now he's entering turn 1. It is a big gap that CJ LeVere has managed to find himself somehow during those green flag pit stops. He just hopes we don't see a caution that groups everybody up. I think, but who knows? Again, I was going to say I think he likes the position that he's sitting in right now, but who knows what's going on with the strategy call behind the scenes and over the radio of the 14 that we don't know about.
Yeah, you never know. And like you said, a yellow right now would actually benefit at least the top 9. Now, 10th on back where Marinak runs 1 lap down. LD and Steven Maddox are all 1 lap down, those 3 drivers. And how about that? I mean, Steven staying out like that, it really cost him. I mean, Steven was second, third spot before the green flag pit stop started occurring. And look at him, 12th spot, 1 lap down, big time trouble. So not really sure what the strategy was for him, but obviously it didn't pay off.
And again, Las Vegas, synonymous with taking a gamble, yes, taking a risk, rolling the dice, seeing what you can do, as Matt Lacrosse has regained his lap. So no longer a lap down. And again, CJ Lavera, we were talking about that car having damage. After he spun through the grass, the nose looks a little bit jacked up, has a little bit of damage on it. Doesn't seem to be affecting him, but Chad Schilling closing it down now to 13.5 seconds. Jose Gonzalez, who was really chasing him down, is kind of stalled out behind Brian Harvey. He's right on that back bumper, and we'll be looking to make that pass here soon. But I don't know if anybody has anything. Schilling picks up another 4/10 there. CJ Lavera really wants this race to get going, get to that checkered flag. Again, 125 laps on the board. He's currently working lap number 86. Now he's going to come down pit road, I believe. Yes, CJ Lavera giving up the number 1 spot. Not enough fuel in that number 4 car.
Like you said, rolling the dice. You hear that?
There you go. I think it comes back to they came in too early. Hey, dice rolling.
Rolling the dice at Las Vegas. I love it.
Those guys, I think they just came in too early. Lavera, 4 tires and fuel out.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
I
look,
agree.
It's a 125 lap race. You got to put the midway point. What? 60 something, 62, 63 laps to midway point. They came in around lap 50. Can't make it that far on gas, and that's why I had talked about normally everybody comes in one good group. We saw about 4 guys come in at the same time. Maybe they weren't really paying attention to the lap number. They just saw some other guys came down. Next thing they know, they realized they're going to be short on fuel.
Hey,
because then we saw it before anybody else pitted. They waited another 20 or so laps. I think those guys are going to be fine.
Yep. And remember, the last one to pit was that 7 car of Stephen Maddox. And I tell you, I thought that he messed up, but he may be the one that did not mess up. He may not have to pit. He may have played the cards right. He may have rolled 3 6s, which to some is an unlucky number. To others, 3 6s playing Yahtzee, 3 of a kind.
Let's say, isn't 7 supposed to be a lucky number too? But I guess you can't roll that on a die. And Harvey's hitting too. Yeah, I don't know about gambling. What? I live in Vegas. What? This is like a 20-minute drive to get to the Speedway today.
I think Stephen Maddox may have a royal flush here, guys. If it comes out right.
The lap down in 11. Schilling's coming in now too.
Yep.
So those guys had to have pitted
10.
just too early. Yeah.
They pitted too early. Gosh. Now, where's the 7 car at? 7 car. Stephen Maddox is an 11. I don't hear him rolling out of the throttle. I think he may have enough to make it the rest of the way. I hope Ayala doesn't come out so we can see. This is going to be interesting. Oh! Gosh! He just nailed the 11 car of LD Sarabia. Did you guys see that? Gosh.
He went in there hot and just ran out of room.
That's gonna that hurt him in the front there, I think.
Again, we've seen Lavera with front end damage. It would make out okay. Maddox gets around the 11 of LD Sarabia right now. Those are the first cars. Those guys. That battle would be for the last car, or the first car rather, 1 lap down for the time being. Again, Schilling currently having his scoring update as he pitted that last time by. So Maddox is going to be shown. The first car 1 lap down. 6 cars on the lead lap. Last car is CJ LaVere. Stefan Marinak up in 5th. Lacrosse in 4th. And Jose is up in the number 1 spot.
If CJ's already 6th here and he's still on the lead lap.
And he's pitted.
Yeah, he's already pitted, so the 7 car's still lap down in 7th, so it's not going to work out for him.
The question is, do these guys in front of CJ have to pit too, or were they part of the group that waited long enough? And you got to think that they pitted after halfway, so in theory, if they pitted in that second group of cars, then, I mean, CJ can't count on these guys coming down pit road. He has to try to make up a 25-second gap. Really hard to do inside of... Really hard to do if you give him any amount of laps, but he's closing in on 30 to go.
Frank Kuhn's coming down pit road here. He's 2 laps down, but he is coming down pit
14.
road. So we know he doesn't have enough fuel. Eleven car now. LD Serbia coming down pit road. He doesn't have enough fuel, so.
He's out the 48, going to leave again. We talked about a little bit of right rear damage for him earlier on. That's a 2-tire stop. Now again, still 6 cars on the lead lap. CJ closing the gap down. He's 24 seconds back in 6th. 5th place, Stefan Marinak, 18 back. Matt Lacrosse, 4th place, 9 back. Also 9 back is Ben Burnett just in front of him. Josh Cheney just under 4 seconds away from the race leader, Jose Gonzalez. We're going to step away for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be right around that lap 100 mark and closing in on 25 laps to go. You're watching the ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday nights on MW Productions. We'll have more from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and bring it to the checkered flag after this.
Hi, I'm Todd Malmstrom, driver of the 75M Ford Mustang GT. This is what I do by night. And this is what I do by day. I sell new Fords, and I've got the best selections of used inventory that you could ask for. Come see me down here at Central Ford.
Are you tired of getting hassled at the dealerships? Looking for a salesman that knows what he's talking about? Are you looking to buy a new or used car? Then look no further! Sexton Ford Moline, Illinois has the biggest selection of newer pre-owned vehicles, and Todd Malmstrom is the salesman you want. Todd is an expert when it comes to cars, and if you don't believe me, then you should see him race on a Sunday night. With his top-notch professional customer service and expertise, he will make sure you go home in the right car for the right price. No hassle, no haggling. Todd will make sure that you're happy when you leave the lot with your newer pre-owned vehicle. Remember, Sexton Ford may be the talk of the town, but so is Todd Malmstrom. If you're in the market for a new ride, then buy one from a winner. Todd Malmstrom at Sexton Ford Moline.
And back here again at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday Night Racing, live as always on MW Productions. Evan Pasoko, Michael Keaton up at the broadcast booth here this evening. Closing in on the checkered flag is Jose Gonzalez. Matt Lacrosse is looking to make a show out of it. It's 8.7 seconds that separate the top two at a track right now as we close in on just about, I want to say, 22 laps to go this time by the straight.
Yep, closing in on the final laps, and it's shaping up to be a good one. I tell you, Evan, Jose Gonzalez is so fast here, and the only guy that's close to him is Matt Lacrosse, and he just went from 8 seconds to over 9 seconds. So only 5 drivers on the lead lap. And how about this? We've given him so much little credit, but he's in 5th. 7th car, Stephen Maddox, 29 seconds back, but he's in 5th. He went from 12th to 5th, but he may still have to come down and pit. We're not sure, but it will be interesting to find out. And he's getting slower and slower too, though. Start looking at that.
Yes, definitely, for sure, as again, only, what is it, it's 5 cars now on the lead lap. It's Gonzalez, Lacrosse, Marinak, Lavere, and Maddox. The top 5 right now, and that gap between the top 2 drivers has now been extended from 8.7 to 9.1 seconds. Between Jose, up at our 1 spot, and Matt Lacrosse. We talked about Matt Lacrosse again all night long about his situation, being second in points, trying to make up ground on Stefan Marinak. Marinak in 3rd. So only 1 position, not really a big change going to come from this if this is the way that it would finish. And we would go home with this result. But again, this is race number 6 in this 9-race segment. Coming up after this, we go to Iowa Speedway for the pumping ethanol 125, and then Charlotte. And then we close it off at Dover for these final 3 races outside of this evening's race. And then obviously close that with a championship. I think Jose's got this one in the bag, it looks like, because he's continuing to pull on Matt Lacrosse, now about 10 seconds between the top 2.
Look at the battle back here behind Stefan Marinak, though. He's in 3rd spot, so it's not really a battle. He's not really going to lose a position, but the battle's between the 9th and 10th place car, Scott Brotherton and Ben Burnett. They're just kind of using Marinak as a weapon, as they're side by side behind him. Brotherton in that 3 snap-on Chevy to the outside, and Burnett in the famous 37 black Kraken Beast Billy, half Hippies Paint Shop sponsored machine. I think that's Kraken Rum, by the way, or Kraken, whatever.
They're trying to use that 24 of Baranek almost as a pick.
Yeah, they are.
37 slices down on him to hold the 3 at bay as they're actually going around that lead lap car. Not going to get a lap back, though. 24 is not your race leader. And you see, look at this car slow in front of these guys. Matt Lacrosse real slow. 24 of Marinak able to get by him. No, 3 wide. Look at the lap car through the middle, door to door. They hang on as Matt Lacrosse. Oh, 3! Brotherton, sideways. He's spinning through the grass.
Uh-oh.
Do they throw it?
He may come up the track, and if he's gonna keep it in the grass, and they will not throw it.
No caution. He stopped on the front straightaway grass. No caution. We stay green after another spin at a turn number 4. And race officials at the sim, for that matter, not going to throw the caution. We stay green. Matt Lacrosse loses the number 2 spot to Stefan Marinak, and Marinak sees an 11.5 second gap. Knocks off 3/10 that time by, but with 15 to go, he needs a lot more than that if he wants a shot at this one.
Yep. That's a tough break for Brotherton. He was racing for that 9th spot against Ben Burnett, and he'll fall back. He'll stay in 10th. Actually, he's still 1 lap down. The next guy is Douglas White in 11th. He's 3 laps down. So no big issue, real issue there. But the man out front who continues to pull away, Evan, is that Jose Gonzalez machine. Marinac second, Lavere third. And just 6 drivers now on the lead lap.
Yeah, Schilling able to get that lap back. Remember, he was the first car 1 lap down not too long ago. Now that reserve is for Scott Simley, who runs 7th, the first car 1 lap down. Brian Harvey, his teammate, the second car 1 lap down. And Simley actually gets his lap back because he's in front of Jose Gonzalez. So they're faster than him because they pitted more recently than him, but doesn't matter. Jose just needs to hang on to that 11-second lead. But I do think we will see the number in cars that are on the lead lap increase, because now Brian Harvey, however, first car 1 lap down, is about a straightaway away from your race leader Jose Gonzalez, who again was just overtaken by the 68 of Harvey or 68 of Simley for that matter, to get his lap back. But that 11-second lead is looking pretty steady at the moment for Jose Gonzalez up at the front of the field, and looking to run away with this one and pull it out after a wild mid-race area where the, again, very interesting with the pit strategy call. Drivers not getting enough fuel in the tank. Several drivers having to come down to top off to desperately change the outcome of this race, and Jose's looking to lock it up, as, again, he still looks for his first win on this campaign.
Closing in on 10 laps to go.
DJ Lavere could become a factor in this. He has passed Stefan Marinac as he sits 10 seconds back now as we close in on this time at a 4. Jose Gonzalez, who trails the last car to lead lap, Scott Simley on the racetrack, 10 laps to go. DJ coming at turn number 4, needs a lot. He has 10 laps to get it done, and it's 10.1 seconds this time. Scoring good update. What did he get? Did he get anything? 9.9, only 2/10. Does the 4 have a shot at this without a caution?
You know, there's a chance. You know, if a caution comes out, Evan, it changes everything. I mean, it brings them down pit road. It puts the 2 drivers that are a lap down back on the lead lap, although they won't be able to pit for fresh tires. But you'll have a chance to get 7 guys nose to tail, side by side, and that's where it could get back interesting. As Lavere, you mentioned, he's starting to close in, but I don't think he's got the lap time to close in within about 6-7 laps where this race has ended.
You would be need to getting over a second a lap, because just getting to him is one thing. You got to be able to have time to set yourself up and make that pass. So unless he gets a caution, I don't think he's pretty much done for this. Again, no green white checkers, however. So if we were going to see a caution that would play into this race's finish, then it would definitely have to be now, because we got 125 laps on the board. Once we get past about lap 121, a caution would essentially end this thing.
You know, sometimes you wish the caution would come out to make the race, you know, to have this, Jose would like to win, obviously, yes. But would he like to race for the win? I think he would. You know, knowing his competitiveness, knowing all these guys, how competitive they are, you know, they want to race for the win. They want to get up there and beat each other's door in and race. But at the same time, you know, they have raced. I mean, they all got the pit, green flag pit stop, who gets in better, who gets out better, that sort of thing. So in reality, it is a race. But sometimes, you know, it can get flushed out a little bit with some of the stuff that goes on during the green flag pit stops and different things like that. But if a caution were to come out now, I think we would get back green. But it'd be close to a 1-lap shootout. So we're about to end that situation where if a caution were to come out, it would actually end the race instead of give us a good green-white checker.
Yeah, those cautions take about 4 laps on average to get through. CJ Lavere has closed the gap to 6.6 seconds between him and Jose Gonzalez up at the top of the field. Again, Jose Gonzalez currently running behind Scott Simley, a lap machine that could slow him down because the 68 may be a little bit faster. 26 rather, has to navigate around him there to make the pass, which could cost him a little bit of time. Lavere down to 5.3 seconds, but there's only 4 to go.
Winding them down, and Jose all smiles right now, but CJ Lavere gripping the wheel tighter and tighter and tighter. CJ has to go through about 3 cars of lap traffic. I think that's what's actually allowed him to catch Gonzalez. He had to work through the traffic. Now Lavere is going to have to filter his way through it, and there's no way, unless Gonzalez smacks the wall or something. I don't care how fast you think Lavere is right now. There's no way. Not enough laps. The meatball is cooking.
That's one way of looking at it. The food commercial comes on the TV next to me. Now you guys are making me hungry.
I tell you what, I'm going to go have one of these high-rolling hot dogs after this race. The Vegas High Roller Hot Dog.
Down there at the Neon Garage with Victory Lane.
Yep.
Jose,
right after we talk to Jose.
Yes. Well, we'll meet him down there. We'll bring him one.
Yeah.
So we'll tell him about it, and he'll probably be confused. But he's coming out of turn number 4, looking for the white flag. CJ Lavere trying and digging, but just does not have enough time, and it is white flag. As Jose now goes down into turns 3 and 2, the gap over 5 seconds. Lap traffic in front, Ben Burnett getting his lap back. 7 drivers now on the lead lap. But Jose just needs to survive turns number 3 and 4. He's going to be able to walk away with this thing. This race, very interesting title sponsor per se, but coming out of turn number 4, Jose Gonzalez wins the Chicken Ranch 125 in Las Vegas.
There you have it. Jose Gonzalez, the meatball champion here at Vegas, and Lavere will finish second, and Stefan Marinac rounds out your top 3. Great race here. Some of these guys, again, would have loved to see a grouped up restart somewhat of one, but not today, not at Vegas. The dice were rolled, and a couple of different numbers popped up, and it worked out to be the 26 machine.
He's able to get it. Stefan Marinac comes home 3rd and is now 6 for 6 on top 5s on this campaign. And we're going to step away and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, hopefully going to be able to talk to the top 3 drivers. You're watching the ITSR Twisted B Car Series Thursday nights on MW Productions. The post-race show coming up next.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
And we're back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the race comes down to the end, and it is Jose Gonzalez able to walk away with a win and a little bit of a celebratory bump, I guess you could call it, as Douglas Wyatt sends him for a little bit of a ride. He's still doing whatever celebration that he can as we slow him down, but we've sent Keaton down there to victory lane. He's caught up with our third and second place finishers, beginning with Stefan Marinac.
Yes, Stefan Marinac caught up with him. Sixth place on the qualifying bubble with a 31.3. Just a couple of off of the faster drivers of Jose and Matt Lacrosse. But Stefan, great run at the end. You put the Ritz Cracker Chevy in third spot. Congratulations for that tonight.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I pitted a lap too early, and on top of that, I had a 16-second pit penalty. So I was saving gas along with 16 seconds behind, and I cannot believe I got third.
Yeah, Stefan. Hey, I tell you what, one of the most craziest round of green flag pit strategies and stops that I've seen in a long time. I tell you, it looked like it could have been anybody's. It was kind of up in the air. We were kind of confused on who was conserving or who was going to do what, and the pit strategy, the pit calls looked like it would kind of mess with everybody tonight.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys on different strategies, and I know CJ was on a two-stop strategy, and he was just using the tire wear to catch back up and end up working for him. And then me and Jose, I think, were on the same. But yeah, I came in on lap 63, I think, and I ran out coming across the checkered flag. So I know there were a lot of guys that pitted like lap 62, 61, and they had to come back in anyway.
Stefan, the most consecutive driver currently right now in the Thursday Night Twisted B-Car Series, coming in tonight's race in the points lead with the only win in the top 10 in points. You're 18 above Matt Lacrosse in the third spot finish tonight. It sets yourself up in another great position going into the race next Thursday night. So touch on that just for a second and then throw out anyone you'd like to thank, and we appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a great season. I've managed to stay out of trouble, and I don't think I've finished outside the top 5, so I've been very lucky, unlike the Tuesday series. But yeah, I want to thank Hippie's Paint Shop, Axo, Quick Car, ITSR, and you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stefan. And we'll see you next Thursday night. Moving to CJ LeVere, the 4-car, finishes second at Vegas. We thought you were going to run him down, CJ, but I think the dice fell to a 1.
Yeah, that last pit stop there, Goodyear, I don't think they liked me, and they gave Jose a little better set of tires. We just couldn't run him down, ran out of laps. Maybe, 10 or 15 more laps, we may have ran him down, but at the end, that last third pit stop I made, I really burnt the tires up trying to make up as much time as I could. That was our strategy. We put on the tires and we ran them until there was nothing left, and we pitted. It worked out. Unsurprisingly, everybody else was doing a two pit stop, and we ended up doing a 3 pit stop.
Yep, I heard Stefan say that you were on a different strategy. There were so many different strategies there, and it was kind of fun to watch whose was going to work out, whose didn't. We actually was talking like the 7-car, Stephen Maddox, on his strategy where he just waited to the last second and was actually sputtering what looked like coming down pit road. And, it worked out to a degree. Finished 5th, and on the lead lap. But for you, it nearly worked out as you try to use that, again, the tire wear to your advantage to somewhat, and finish second. So you got to be happy with that coming into Vegas, finishing second.
Oh yeah, we're real happy. After that first pit stop, the guys caught on. I had a wicked big lead, 15 seconds. It was great, and they caught on, so they started saving their stuff, I think, a little bit more. We were just checking. Guys didn't fall off so much in that second pit stop. They started saving their tires. But hey, we'll take the second. Got to thank my teammates out there, and also got to thank Axel Sanitary, Quick Car, Hippie's Paint Shop, all my admin, all my drivers, MW Production, and all you guys in the broadcast booth.
Thank you very much, CJ, and we'll see you next Thursday night as well. And now, catching up with Jose Gonzalez down on Victory Lane, Evan Pasoko has caught up with him.
We forgot the hot dog, so we'll talk to you about that later, Jose. But in Victory Lane for the first time this season, picking up your second top 5 on the season per se, but able to walk away in Victory Lane. And first and foremost, we saw varying pit strategy. A lot of guys having to come in at awkward times. What was the strategy that you took that ended up getting you that checkered flag?
Well, I didn't really have a strategy. I just ran my race and let the chips fall. The first green flag pit stop, I basically just waited, till I thought my car couldn't go any further without blowing the tire. I wanted to go a couple of more laps, but when I turned that wheel and the car just didn't turn and started, squeezing the tires, I'm like, oh. And so I make the left turn. I went to pit, and after that, I was just watching my fuel and just hoping that I could make it to the end. I didn't make any calculations or anything, so I just didn't have any idea. But at the end, I was watching the gas, and I was right there. I think I have like half a lap to the good, so I was just saving the fuel. And when you save your fuel, you also save your tires. So I didn't. My car was pretty good there at the end, and thankfully I just I couldn't do a burnout because I ran out of fuel.
You got a little bit of a love tab there too from, I think it was the 5 car.
Yeah.
So you get the triple crown per se, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and then coming home in the number 1 position. Again, getting that first win. You said you were talking about saving fuel there at the end. I know CJ was closing in on you guys. In the instance that maybe we would have seen a caution there, I know we saw a quick yellow be thrown on the first spin, and then a couple more spins where the sim did not throw the yellow. That could have very easily grouped us up there late in the going. If that were to happen, do you think you would have had the car that would have been able to hold on to that number 1 spot?
Well, I think I had a chance. I was first in practice and qualifying, and if that would have happened, I would probably go take 4 tires and see what happens. But I was hoping, everybody was hoping on the radio that we got a caution, and I was telling them all to shut up.
Well, it works out in your favor, and you're able to go to Victory Lane. And who do you want to thank? Any sponsors and shout-outs out there?
Yep, Hippie's Paint Shop, facebook.com/Hippie's Paint Shop. Paint your cars. We got some new cars, the Toyota and the BMW, and we're painting those, and they're coming out really great. So Hippie's Paint Shop and Axel Sanitary and Quick Cars and Meatball Company, best meatballs in Puerto Rico.
Definitely 10-4, but Jose Gonzalez is going to go to Victory Lane. That's going to wrap it up here this evening for the ITSR Twisted B Car Series. Guys, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Race 6, once again, going to belong to Jose and his number 26 crew. Until next time, Evan Pasoko up in the broadcast booth along with Michael Keaton, and then Michael Woolley down there in the production hauler pushing those buttons and getting us on there. So long for now. We'll see you next week when we go racing at Iowa Speedway for the Pumping Ethanol 125.
DGVertec.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built their web servers successfully throughout the years. The stress testing has been done so that they can provide you with an enhanced web hosting technology that they design for using future standards today for tomorrow. They offer 24/7 support for all web hosting plans. Their team answers support tickets 24/7. So if you have a problem at any time, an agent will be more than happy to help you. If you're not satisfied with your service within 7 days, then you can get a full money back guarantee with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DG Vertech should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgvertech.net today, your web hosting solution.